Hello, everyone, and welcome to Littlefield live streaming. Tonight's show is Whiplash. Now, please welcome your host, Shalewa Sharpe.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Whiplash. I'm your host, Shalewa Sharpe. All right, I guess the recording already told you that. We're glad you're with us this week. We're glad you're with us every week. I assume. I'm pretty sure there's going to be one week that we're not too happy to see you, but we are not going to say anything because we shouldn't drag our business out in front of company. But this week we're happy to see you. This week we're also we're in cahoots with Brightsiders, where we're we want you to donate funds to the Bail Project. And that's a nonprofit that's helping with distributing bail to people who need it. Because I don't know if you've seen or heard, but the streets are hot right now, and there may be an increased need in bail. So help a brother out, why don't you? Make some donations. So anywho, that's not really why I've gathered you all here tonight. I want to know how your accessory game is going. How's your mask game going? I've switched out my glasses this evening. I've put on a different set of frames, and I am so happy that I'm the kind of person that needs to have at least 4 different types of glasses frames. At first it seemed very I don't know, a little cocky, but now it's how I change outfits. I've gotten a nice little arsenal of masks in signature colors, and I've got the glasses and earrings, and who cares what clothing I'm wearing, really. It's kind of a dream. Really, no one should judge my outfit because I'm only outside once every 10 days. But you certainly should judge my mask and my glasses and my earrings. That's how I'm expressing myself now. That's the new fashion thing. I don't know if you've seen it in your Animal Crossings, but definitely do up your mask. Man, one of those Animal Crossing animals came up to me and wanted to chat, and she didn't have a mask on, and I just left her there. Just left her in the wind. What are you talking to me for? You're standing too close. I don't know what's going on in this island. Yes, it's my island, but I don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? It's even in my video games, guys. Anywho, we've got a great show for you this evening. I'm very excited to talk to everyone. I need to have conversations with people because my cat still isn't talking. She's making her displeasure known, but I wish she'd use her words, if only so that we could make some money off of her. You know what I mean? Nobody cares about a sullen, silent cat. Those are a dime a dozen. I need one that talks. But since she's not talking, I gathered up a few comedians to talk to me, and that should work just as well. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up your first comedian to the Zoom stage. Very funny young man. Please welcome to the stage, Raanan Hershberg. Raanan.
Hey, Shalewa, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Good. Did I time that right? I've never done.
No.
Yeah, it's like a whole new way of getting on stage. You have to press the Zoom button, right? But you're not. But before you would time it out, like they call your name, but you'd be like, I'm 10 feet away from stage. Maybe I should go a little earlier. You don't want to wait too long. But here you go on immediately, so you just hear the name and you press it. So,
you just start pressing. Yeah, there's certainly going to be a delay. It's fine. Yeah. Everyone's very forgiving. Yeah, I'm finding as we are all just here talking in little boxes. People have been very chill.
Yeah, I noticed that when I first started doing Zoom shows. It's like when there's a lot of stand-up, like Zoom stand-up, which is very awkward, but it would be balanced out by the fact that everyone was so desperate to laugh because of this existential nightmare.
Right.
And that terrifying, apocalyptic, desperate need to laugh would really help cancel out the awkwardness of just performing to your laptop. So that's a nice,
Yeah. Some of my jokes have really done well, and I know it's only because we're as captive as can be.
Yeah, and I think people gotta laugh because it's like you can't, if you bomb on a Zoom show, they don't want to make a comedian be contributing to their rock bottom moment. You know what I mean? Which is bombing on a Zoom show. So, that's the nice part.
I guess that would be rock bottom bombing.
Well, Freddie G, the comic?
Yeah.
He asked me to do his Facebook, the Instagram live. And this is my rock bottom. I did it. And the only people who were watching were his parents.
Oh.
And, it was mom and his dad. I think they're watching in 2 different rooms. And at one point,
so that's 2 different. Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, but on one point, I saw a comment where the mom said, "Your dad just logged off," and that's my rock bottom moment.
Oh, that is rough.
Felt good to get there.
Yeah, it's like just being at a dinner party and you're the only guest and the whole family is just. Have you ever been have you ever had a friend invite you over to dinner and you get there and you're like, oh no, this is a nightmare.
Like it's just you there and no one else, you mean? Yeah, that's always very scary. Yeah, that's why I don't have friends, to avoid that from ever happening. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely been, you can be early to a party, which is bad. I'm always late to actually, I just never go to parties, honestly.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
I'm very late. I'm very late to every party. I have yet to show up to every party I've been invited to.
But man,
the ultimate late.
We're gonna be off the chain. Are we still off the chain? I don't know.
You're asking me? I have no idea.
I don't know what we're off of anymore.
I just found out about Snapchat 2 weeks ago. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm still on Facebook. I don't know.
Well, someone has to be.
Yeah, that's true. I had to read about all TikTok. Apparently, TikTok.
I squat
Trump.
on
I don't know. I had to learn about it.
I squat on these things. I have a TikTok account. And maybe one video that's just me trying to get something into focus. But otherwise, it's just so that no one else gets silky jumbo. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I get silky jumbo.
You got to conquer that on every new platform, basically.
Yeah. In fact, on TikTok, I got silky jumbo and then forgot the password and all the information with it. So then I had to get silky jumbo again with a 0.
Oh, but you own Silky Jumbo. You stole it from yourself, or you're forgetting it, blocked you out. Yeah,
right. So I'm like, well, I mean, I'm still on it. I cock blocked myself.
Yeah. It's upsetting when you have a unique name and you still have my website's Raanan Hershberg3.com, and you think. You think that's a joke, but I actually wanted to do it as a joke, have it Hershberg3.com, but I never did. So I just lie to people. But yeah, I'm in Arizona. How's New York? Everyone's I feel like we're in opposite places. You get shamed for wearing a mask here.
Yeah, they are I mean there are folks in masks for the most part. Mm-hmm. Now where the masks are on their face, that could be just here on it, a nice little chin strap situation.
You're down. So in New York, you're already getting to how to wear the mask shaming. We don't even get any. You could have a mask just on your head, and people, we would never get to that level of shaming here. People don't care at all here. People don't wear masks. It's every time I go to a grocery, I wear a mask. And there's 2 other people wearing a mask and everyone else is not wearing a mask.
So no one's taking it seriously?
Now they kind of are, because it's we're getting national news for doing so badly. Sure. Which I think people got a little embarrassed, because it's just you turn on CNN, it's Arizona, the new hotspot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, y'all are for real super hot right now.
Yeah. Everywhere I go, I'm going to Alaska in 2 weeks, and I'll be curious to know if that becomes a hotspot. Then it's just I'm just going to jump into the ocean. I was just
talking to my roommate about Alaska, mostly why did we get it?
Did we buy it from the Russians?
Yeah, we ended up looking it up,
for very little money, actually.
Yeah, for a song.
For a song. Yeah, which it's good. I mean, I'm glad we have it. It's the last nature we have left.
Yeah, I think so. until we fuck it up, it's the last piece.
Also, just to clarify, I'm going to Alaska to help with my sister and her kids. I'm not just vacationing during the pandemic. I don't want to get vacation shamed. You know.
Oh no, you don't. No, I mean, you're gonna get shamed because you left New York anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think that's gonna be. It doesn't even matter where you end up at this point.
Honestly, it was terrifying leaving. I left New York like right away. I guess the day after they closed down everything.
Okay.
I was like doing some club spots, and I'm like, the day, because my apartment was not meant to, like, my apartment, it's just a storage space I sleep in. It's not meant to like be there during the day. You know what I mean? Like, I include a coffee shop and the street outside my apartment as part of the apartment, just to feel like I have actual, otherwise it's just a coffin. So I was like, I cannot stay here. And then like the day after they like shut down everything, I just bought a ticket. I thought they were going to like close down flights. I bought a ticket, and it was terrifying because there was a school field trip on the flight. Yeah, it was terrifying. There was like 150 kids, and they had been like everywhere. They had, like, I asked like the one of the teachers, I was like, where are these, like, and none of them wearing masks, you know what I mean?
Of course not.
This was kind of like, honestly, this was actually back, I don't know if people remember, this is back when people weren't actually really wearing masks.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right when right when it shut down. Like that back then, I remember, like, if you wore a mask, and people were like, what do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I remember thinking someone wore a mask, and I think I straight up said, I'd rather die than look like a fucking idiot. I think I said that, but that was
that was before someone like called your bluff.
Yeah, that was before all the, when people started dying. But anyway, so yeah, it was like a school field trip, and they had been to like a bunch of different cities, and they were flying back to Tucson. They had been to like Washington, D.C., New York. I think they stopped at Wuhan for a little bit. Like they had gone on like a coronavirus tour. Right. And now they're like going back, and they were behind me, coughing on me. Like they were like coughing. Because kids, if you watch kids, they just cough and sneeze all day. Like they don't care at all. So
yeah,
I was like, I was convinced I had like 12 strains of it by the time I got off the flight. But I'm still alive, so I don't know.
You're still alive. Yeah, I mean, that actually kind of put the fear of God into me before the idea of coronavirus, just being on a plane with a bunch of young people.
Yeah.
Any young people or any sort of team of any sort, I don't like. I remember being on a plane, and there was some sort of like soccer team from some country that calls it football. And at some point they were trying to impress our
that's literally every country besides ours.
Yeah, whichever.
Hard to narrow down.
Well, it's one that I certainly didn't care for, because they ended up getting a little tipsy and doing push-ups in the aisle. And I was I can't believe this is how I'm going to die with these idiots. And I like soccer, but not.
Yeah. That's a good point. It was actually the first time I wasn't afraid of dying in a crash. I'm usually on a plane afraid of dying in a crash. Mm-hmm. It was the first time I was like hoping it crashed. I was like, we should probably not have these kids get to Arizona.
Right.
I feel like I was in, the opening scenes of the movie where you see the virus, like them all go there. Like I was like, shit, we gotta crash this plane. This is going to kill all the old people in Arizona.
Yeah, it's the only way. It's
It's interesting being out here. It's like, you live in New York and the bubble, and now I'm here, and it's like Trumpville. Everyone's got like a Trump, they don't just have Trump signs. They have like flags. Trump people have like flags on like RVs and shit, like actual, like an American flag, but it says like Trump on it. It's crazy.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it's like flag like that's a level of dedication. You're like, it's a little scary. Like no one's having a Biden flag right now. No one's doing.
He's not inspiring flags.
No one's like has a giant flag with just Biden's.
That's going to
make sure to vote for him. Make sure to vote for him. For anyone listening. It's tough because you look at Biden, you're like, it's like, yeah, Jesus. But you also don't want to talk too much shit. You got to vote for him, so it's like complicated. I don't know.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, they're crazy down here. So
Well, I'll light a candle for you. That's the best I can do.
Thanks.
Is
I
lighting
appreciate it.
candle.
I mean, you don't have to start my vigil just yet. I might survive,
Okay.
but
All right. You might be. I mean, like I just want you to get to Alaska, really.
Yeah.
You to do that.
If the numbers shoot up in Alaska, you'll know it's me. So
I will know. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to tell folks it's you. Let's just start that rumor. That'll probably
I'd like to start something, you know. I don't know anything about TikTok or anything. I'd like to just be the beginning of something. If it's that's the ultimate influencer, the patient zero.
Absolutely. That's the
how cool is that person?
The most viral.
Most viral, yeah. How cool is that? The person who brought Corona to America. that guy trumps the K-pop, whatever. Whoever brought K-pop here or whatever, who brought karaoke here. Like, I don't mean just Asian things. Throwing a. Anyway. I'm gonna get canceled. Well, isn't it funny how comedy is now reduced to just canceling?
Yeah.
Every other part of comedy is done. It's just canceling.
Yeah. Now is not the time. Literally, a huge hook is going to come and pull you out of the Zoom.
But anyway, so yeah, that would be a great way to influence people. But yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining
thanks for
us.
having me. Yeah, this was awesome. This was great.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you. Take care.
Take care.
See you soon,
Bye.
Bye.
That was Raanan Hershberg, everyone. And as every host of any show that Raanan has been on has had to say, the opinions and thoughts of Raanan are not indicative of the show at large. We just want to say that. I'm going to bring up your next comedian to the stage. I'm excited to see this young man. Let's go ahead and just bring him out. Please welcome Paul Julmeus.
What's up?
Wow. So you were
I'm at Littlefield.
At the club that this would normally be taking place in.
Yeah, I had to cover up, the trash I'm living in right now. No, I'm good.
How bad could it be? Like how are you living? How are things?
I'm good. I think I got more liquor bottles than water, liquor and water bottles. I'm living my life. So
okay.
No, these are good. I'm in New York right now. Living my best life. How about you?
I'm fine. You already said liquor bottles. I knew you were in New York. I mean, that's the only way really to survive it. Yeah, no, I'm still in my bunker in Bushwick in Brooklyn. I'm fine. Everything's great.
It is
great. So how's your mask etiquette going? Are you out here wearing them, or do I have to yell at you in front of all these people?
I wear it. But like I have not stopped moving since quarantine. Like I've been outside almost like every other day. I even learned how to grill. I even bought a grilling thing, because I'm also working too. So my mask etiquette, it's getting worse. The summer is too hot. You breathe in your own terrible breath in the hot air, and you're working. I'm like, I'd rather die than this. Yeah, sorry. Like it's getting bad. I'm sorry.
It is bad. I had to go into my job. I have to go in once a week at least, and that's about to change. But the mask that I chose for that day is a little big, so I tied knots in the elastic around the back of the ear so that it would pull it up, and it worked. But then it worked too well, and everything was so tight that by the time I got home, I had a horrible headache. And just like elastic burns into my ear, and just took it off like, oh, and you would have thought that I had like really put in time somewhere, and I literally was just sorting mail in an office.
It's bad. That ear pain, that ear struggle, it's like so chronic. It's like a chronic. It's real. It hurts for a while too. It's not good.
It's a new pain that I have to add to my arsenal. Like, what is that? What's doing that? Oh, that's this thing. Yeah.
You haven't upgraded to the full hockey mask, whatever?
No, I can't do that. Where am I going to put my glasses? What, on top of it? It's not going to be scary. It's not scary.
I've seen it. I have one of those, but I can't. It has like a big plastic sticker on it, and I can't remove it. Like I have to boil it. I don't know, but I don't know. It's whatever. I've been having fun. You know, I'm from Miami. We don't take anything seriously. If you haven't seen,
yeah, clearly
things are spiking up. Everybody remembers the spring breakers that were down there before COVID. They're like, I don't care what goes on. I'll party. I've been waiting for this party for 2 months, bro. I'm gonna get fucked up.
So those are your people.
Yeah, those are my people. You know, we celebrate. We throw hurricane parties. So right before hurricanes, I've come back from the club like right when a hurricane's about to hit. Like, shit, man, I need to get home and put some shutters up. You know, so
that is wild. But yeah, y'all do catch a hurricane or two.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, y'all are good for that. What are you living alone? Do you have a roommate?
I have 3. I was with I was living with my girl till staying with my girl for a few months. I've been interacting. Like I probably think I gotten better socially.
Oh, because of this? Because you've been forced into a space with other people?
Yeah, it's just I think no, it's good. I think I was like I think it was a good time to like relax, watch some YouTube videos, learn about myself, you know. Like I've been watched so many YouTube videos, self-help. So I finally finally grew a beard. So
what YouTube video did you watch to get that to happen?
Trick Daddy's cooking videos.
Wait, does he have cooking videos?
He does on YouTube. No, that's not what I've been watching. I was just like,
oh my goodness. Are you taking a moment to like center yourself and all of that stuff? I want to, but sometimes I get tired of the words.
What word? The
just all the word, like it's always just like find your oneness and center and decent, and then you want to just be in the stillness. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? You're just stringing words. Am I just sitting? Mm-hmm. I'm just sitting what's happening? What am I doing? Just sit cross-legged on the floor for 45 minutes? Tell me to do that.
Got you. Yeah. I've been doing things I like. I'm like trying to figure out what I like. Like even like watching TV shows. I was like, man, what TV shows do I really like? Like I was watching all sorts of reality, and then I felt disgusting. And then I started watching Star Trek, and I was like, oh yeah, I did used to like this in 5th grade. So I've been watching mad Star Trek Next Generation.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been doing that.
Yeah, now it's definitely a time to reconnect with what you liked as a kid.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Like yesterday I watched The Wiz, and come
on and ease on down the road.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, it holds up.
Yeah, it does. I bet the music, at least.
Yeah.
Well, is it Cosby in it? Cosby, Michael?
No, Cosby. Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. Okay.
Is The Wiz. Okay. Michael's in it.
Okay.
Yeah, Diana Ross.
Diana. Okay, my bad. I thought Cosby was in it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, that's understandable. At that time, he was in quite a few movies.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I think I'm also relaxed during this time because I grew up like the first thing that I was afraid of as a kid was pandemics. Like when I was 8, my dad, we watched Outbreak, the movie, Outbreak about the Ebola. Yes. But like he was really like telling me like, yo, this is real and this is gonna happen. And I was like screaming, and I felt like the virus is coming through the vents, and I thought I was gonna lose my family and my life. And that's why I'm so calm right now, because that was like my first fear. Like I actually had to open up to the reality that a virus might come through the vents and kill it, And
I don't know if that's good parenting or bad parenting. I mean, it's given you a sense of zen that I admire. I'm a little envious of right now, but also that meant that as a child, you thought like your whole family was going to die because of what your pops said.
Yeah.
Well, like he pointed that out as a possibility.
He laughed the whole time. He still thinks.
Oh, see, that's okay.
my sister thinks it's funny. And my sister's like, "Oh, that's so funny that this is happening right now. And this is one of your biggest fears." And I'm like, "It's so hilarious, right?" Everybody's scared of the boogeyman. Like, check on him. Like, no, the virus is coming through. So,
wow.
yeah.
Well,
But,
I mean, I think we can all agree that family ain't shit. Not yours in particular, but just family in general can be as not shit as possible. So
yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important that they have a little bit of that. I respect that. I hope to be not shit to my son, but also help him progress as a human. Like, I wanted to look back at me and like, yo, you really weren't shit. And I was like, I wasn't. I wasn't,
but look at how well you're doing now. Look how great you're doing.
Yeah. Now buy me some ice cream.
Oh my gosh. So our time's almost up.
Mm-hmm.
What of the stuff that you've been watching on YouTube, what has been your favorite thing so far? What kind of like rabbit hole did you fall into on YouTube?
I've been watching I just like a lot of podcasts. Like I watched like a whole bunch of like Rick Ross on wealth, Nipsey Hussle on wealth, a lot of wealth stuff, stock marketing, trying to become more financially literate, expeditiously.
So you've been watching T.I.
I'm watching T.I. I'm watching rappers try to teach me stuff. Woke rappers. This is weird because I would definitely know. Like, it's just nonstop. But I'm normally a conspiracy theorist. Like, I had to stop that part of my brain. But I don't need to watch this videos to think that. Like, I actually understand Alex Jones. Like, I already understand. Like, so I don't
understand like how he can get to where he's getting to.
Yeah, I get it. I was like, yeah. Someone would be like, that's absurd, and I'd be like, no, that's real. The planet is being absorbed by whatever craziness.
Okay, all right.
So that I don't go into that type of rabbit hole. So my rabbit holes are usually like trying to become more financially literate, and that's about it.
Wow.
But yeah, but crazy stuff, man.
Okay, that's real deep, bruh.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know the protests that happened. I didn't have the opportunity to go any protests because my girl, she didn't want me going out there with all the white girls there. She was worried for me. She didn't want me to lose me to some white girl and go biking around the park and start making gluten-free cupcakes. So I didn't get the opportunity to protest. But I did get drunk with my homies and scream in the street, so I felt like I did my part.
That's very close. That's as close as I guess you can get without losing your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
right.
please tell your girl you're not going to be swayed by gluten-free cupcakes.
Hell no.
It's going to take more than that.
That is crazy. Yeah,
we have that maybe 5 years ago, but not now. Now we need more than gluten-free cupcakes. They got to bring more to the table. That's all lip service. They're gonna have to come harder than that.
They got to come harder than that.
Yeah, absolutely. They at least have to know about finance. So
I guess, yeah, we definitely got deep at the end. So yeah, definitely.
It's so good to see you, Paul.
Good to see you too. You sound well. All right.
Oh, you too.
Be good, everybody. Bye.
Take care. Conspiracy theorists, everyone. They're all among you, and it's not hard to. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if you really just kind of, I don't know, let your ginger ale ferment a little, drink. It's all believable. Everything is believable. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think my ginger ale was fermented. That was Paul, everyone. Living his worst fear and doing it very calmly. That's the most calm I've seen anybody who is watching his worst fear come to life. That's pretty amazing. So I'm going to bring up your next comedian. Let's keep on trucking. This next comedian, we recently played Whiplash together. So we are only going to be on shows that end in lash. So please welcome to the Zoom stage, Alison Leiby, everyone.
Hello. I'm so glad you brought that up. My friend watched it and she was like, I love that at the end of that game, the hosts were like, Shalewa, did you have fun? And you were like, yeah. You're like, yeah, sure, guys, whatever. What the fuck was this?
Yeah, it was fine. It was great.
Yeah, it was anymore. Did I have fun? I haven't had fun in 4 months. Like,
what is fun, really? You know, I mean, I'm wearing lip gloss in my apartment. Sure, that's fun.
Yeah, that's something. I don't know. I will say I do like that the show is so, like, there's like sunlight still coming into my apartment, which means that like we're gonna wrap this up. I can start my nighttime skincare regimen. I'll be in bed like by midnight. It's gonna be like,
we're in and out. We're not trying to keep you. You know what I mean?
Putting on like creams and serums anymore. I mean, I could do that at like the PM hours and still get a full night of sleep. So
I am amazed as that you were able to keep up with any sort of face thing. When this started, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I need to just like leave everything alone, just not mess with it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that was me thinking that in my most natural state, I'd be able to battle whatever was coming at me, or if it was just like anxiety and laziness, which is probably what it was. I do know that my skin was like, oh, okay, so no truth serum?
Yeah,
I'm gonna mess up on you. And it just did a thing. And I went,
your skin is worse in quarantine, like because you haven't been doing anything to it?
Yes.
I feel like I was taking all of my anxieties and insecurities about the future out on my skin and wallet and just buying every intense, harsh at-home thing you can do and killing hours and skin cells and probably brain cells, just like rubbing, just standing in the mirror being like, am I pretty yet? Is it working? Just like, and I'm like, can I go to sleep? When is night? I don't know.
Right, yeah. I wasn't like, when everyone hopped on the IG and started doing, everyone's skin was glowing. And I'm like, oh, wow, people really seem to be doing well in this. I am falling apart. I'm not going on anything. And it was just because I just didn't want to put anything on my face.
Yeah, I find I'm talking to my products a lot more than I did in the past. Like, I feel like I open my medicine cabinet and I see like makeup and I'm just always like, do we need you? Like, just like, I'm ready to throw it away. But I'm like, I spent a lot of money on it and I just can't.
Yeah, I've purchased 2 eyeshadow palettes. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm like, what do I need this for? I don't even know how to, I don't know. So,
like the online shopping, did you do a binge at all and like buy a bunch of shit? I feel like I know people who, like, I was really good for the first like 6 or 8 weeks, mostly because my identity had been stolen and I didn't have access to my bank account for 30 days, so I couldn't buy anything.
That's helpful.
That's fun.
Great.
But then like the second I kind of like had my money back, I was like, I should spend all of this on clothes that are comfortable and not appropriate for outside the house.
I luckily was already starting to make that comfortable clothing transition, but I still was just out of curiosity. I was like, let me just see what's going on this site, and bought 2 almost ankle length linen skirts.
I'm very
What's that for? What's that for? A high waist too, so it's like 2/3 of my body just draped in linen.
Just like a shoot.
For the house, I'm just doing this for the dishes. Why would I do this?
I don't even know like what I'm like. I look at my closet every day and I'm like, what was any of this for?
Yeah, why did I do this?
Like, I've been wearing jeans at home just like to kind of stay on top of things a little bit.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like, all right, if you put on a bra and jeans, like there's stuff I also now like leave the house, so there's that. Not often, but enough. But
yeah, it took me after the first couple of weeks is when I started wearing like underpants again, because I was just like, I can't think.
Oh, I did not wear underwear for the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, I couldn't. It made me realize I need to have them on to think.
Yeah. Right, because otherwise you're just like floating through the world.
Just, I don't want
There are no barriers. Nothing is happening.
Yeah, but I was just like, I can't continue like this. I can barely write. Like, I can't
Like
pay my bills. Can't.
But I'd be wearing like sweatpants or leggings and no under, and like I would go to do my laundry every week, and I don't own a lot of sweatpants and leggings, so I was like constantly doing laundry, and I was like, am I ever gonna wash underwear again? Like it's never in this load.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever.
But I am now thinking like, I mean, I think Old Navy sent me an email and they were like, hey, your package should be there soon. And I was like, package. So I guess I'm getting something.
Okay, that's something.
Did you? All right, I guess I ordered some shirts or something. I don't know. I just before this happened, I bought 2 pairs of transitional sandals.
Tell me what a transitional sandal is for you.
It was new to me too. It's basically just like a big thick crisscross with just enough for 3 toes.
Okay.
And then like little cutouts on the side.
Okay.
And then it zipped in the back, leather.
Okay.
And that was it. It wasn't like a full on, there's a lot of foot out, but it's enough. It was good for spring when
breathing a little bit.
Yeah, just a little breeze to let you know, hey, it's going to get warmer. So I got those. I was very excited because they were very like older Soho art woman.
I love that.
And so that's what I'm shooting for right now. And then all of this happened. I
like a woman who looks like she could be dropped in Soho or like Santa Fe. Like it's billowy clothes, open shoes.
Yeah.
Jewelry.
Yep. That's exactly what I want out of life. And so now one of those pairs of sandals is just my house shoes.
I have house shoes now.
Because I was just like, well, I don't necessarily want these slippers, which are just picking up all the cat hair. I don't want that. But I paid for these shoes and they're very comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to walk around the house in them. So now they are my house. I mean, I'm getting my money's worth for sure.
Yeah, it's like if you're wearing them in the house, that's 80% of your life now. So
yeah.
I ordered a few weeks ago when I was like, I want to spend money. I from Zappos, I ordered rubber Birkenstocks and a fanny pack, like in the same order, just those 2 things. And I was like, this is great. And like both have been life-changing, wonderful purchases that I could not more highly recommend to the rest of the world. Like
really,
some rubber Birkenstocks and a fanny pack. Lean the fuck in, okay?
Oh my gosh.
But now the emails I'm getting from Zappos are assuming a lifestyle that I don't lead. They're like, do you want this hemp bra? I'm like, I don't wear bras anymore.
Here's my problem with comfortable shoes. I love them.
No one's ever said that.
I love comfortable shoes, and I already have had a lifelong, just like, I want like anything that's almost orthopedic-y looking. Just, I just want that. But the problem is when something is comfortable, when the built-in insole is squishy and comfortable, there's a top stitching issue that gives away that you have a pair of shoes that have the word earth in the title.
Yes.
And it drives me insane. We can do comfy without top stitching.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I agree.
Yeah, weird little perforations.
Yeah, I don't know what your foot situation is, but mine are like bricks. Like they're flat, they're wide. Like I got big ass feet, and I'm not tall enough to justify it. I'm like 5'6" on a good day. When I'm in the rubber Birks because they give me a ½ inch. But like I need them to feel like a nice like wide lane ride. Like I need a lot of space. So for the rubber Birks and something orthopedic adjacent, that's always where I'd like to end up.
Yeah.
Done with every other I don't think I'll ever go back to wearing like a just like exclusively for comfort shoe.
Right. Oh yeah. No,
I was already just on the edge of like loafers were like the nicest ladylikeest shoes I own, and they're still just look like men's shoes.
Yeah. I don't know if the world is ready when we are fully released back onto the streets. I don't think the world is ready for like what's going to just come clamoring out of the apartments.
Like insoles and elastic waists as far as the eye can see, and I couldn't support it more.
Oh, I'm so excited about it. Oh my goodness. Well, Alison,
this was great.
This was fantastic.
It was so fun to see you and not have to be playing a game against you.
I know.
Can we just hang out? Not get yelled at by all those men. That was fun.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good to see you.
So good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Right. I guess I'll go away now.
Yeah, sure. Good things. That was Alison Leiby, everyone, and also what we've been buying during these challenging times, which is only things of comfort. If you got anything that's binding, I mean, I hope it's for a thirst trap or something. So otherwise, I can't see why. What do we? Yeah, we got to figure out a way to make a terry cloth bustier sexy. And to that end, I'm going to bring up your next comic. Please welcome to the stage, Ben Katzner.
Yeah, that was my favorite intro of all time. And did I understand all the things you were saying? No, but I know I agree with you. I trust you, and I agree with you.
I think that, like, if we're doing, like, thirst traps need to evolve, and we can't, you know what I mean? We can't go out and get, I mean, I guess we can have stuff, like, sent to us that are all strappy or whatever, or lift and separate. But, I mean, like, I feel like that's something that I kind of want to try on first before I take it home, and I don't want to pay to have it mailed to me. So I need everybody to relax what their standards are in thirst traps, perhaps.
Because to me, like, when discomfort is never sexy. That's not like for me, that's not like a so like, yeah, if you're gonna send something out, it should be something that breathes a little, you know, that you can move in a little bit. Like, if you're not doing this, I don't want it. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's the only move I've got. Yeah, there definitely need to be more breathable fabrics in sexy time accoutrement.
I'm glad you said it. I feel like I think everybody was just kind of waiting for somebody to say it.
Yeah, that's what I'm running on. It's what I'm running on. I just think, I mean, there's got to be a breathable latex, right? I don't know.
Sure. Why? I mean,
sure, it wipes clean, but at what cost? Comfort.
Wait, you used to, I can talk, you talk about this in your act, right? You used to work at like a sex store, correct?
Yeah, it was a porn shop. It was mostly videos with, you know, your cock rings and your, I don't know, your man rammers, your various toys is what the term I'm looking for.
Got you. Yeah. The only reason I bring it up is I'm like, you've seen all the things and you're like, well, I could improve upon that. Like, that's not even functional. Like, why don't you just turn it the other way, you know, and then a pal can use it, you know, like, I think you have a lot of ideas.
I've seen the things. I've not used many of the things. Sure. I am for sure maybe the most prudish person to have ever worked in a porn store. Not to say that I don't get mine. I mean, I don't. But if I have somehow trapped somebody into my terry cloth lair,
and further, this wasn't me being like, have you ever? That was not what I was doing. No. I don't want Raanan set to look poorly upon me.
We are strictly talking tools.
Yes. I just feel like you're a smart person, so you could and people make some dumb shit, and I know you, like, you could look at that and be like, why are we doing that? That doesn't even make sense.
There are definitely some revisions that could be made to, I don't know how often things are being, I mean, at this point, because when I was working and it was like 20 something years ago,
I didn't realize.
We definitely have broadened stuff. And I feel like we're probably, the focus groups are a bit more pointed now.
Sure. That's good. Yeah. That's all I needed. I feel better now knowing that we're in a better place with our. That's everything we've talked about is exactly what I expected to talk about on the show today.
That is so sad. That makes me sad that that's the case. How are you? Where are you? What are you? How are
Three
you?
great questions. I am okay. I'm functional. I'm surviving. The world, obviously, is the world, and it's kind of a nightmare. I'm in Queens in a 1-bedroom with my girlfriend. She's in the other room, not laughing at any of my jokes. I can hear it. That's great. And then I don't know. I've just been here. We've been kind of holed up since all this happened, and it's been good for like we were just talking the other day about how like we haven't been fighting really at all, which is crazy because we'll be having the nicest time ever, and then I'll usually it's me. I can manage to ruin that, but like this time we really haven't had that. So quarantine and like pandemic, whatever, in that very small sense, has been okay for us. So I don't have a lot of complaints, I guess. Are you okay?
Oh,
How
that's
are you
good.
doing?
It's nice to hear about couples growing within a pandemic. It's not normally, usually we're just waiting for them to break up.
I mean, I feel like we know a couple of comedy couples at least who have, gotten like 2 weeks into this and like, you know what, I'll just find a couch somewhere. I don't need to do this. I at
Really?
least know
No,
one.
here's the thing, because you are you're a young man. You're here in New York, the comedy world. You are talking to folks. You're charming. People like you. You like people. That's great. I don't have all of those attributes, so I don't necessarily know what's going on gossip wise, and that's made it very tough right now for the reckoning that comedy seems to be having.
Oh boy, yeah.
I don't know who people are subtweeting, and so I'm just reading Twitter like, well, who was that? Well, wait, who did that? Well, that sounds terrible, but I don't know any of the particulars.
That's fair. I think at this point it's fair to just be like, yeah, I mean, I guess everyone's probably bad. I should just stay in my apartment for an extra, once everyone's allowed to like go back and do shows and stuff. If we stay in for like an extra month, 2 months, everybody who's, a piece of shit will be put, hopefully, at least the backlogs of shit people will be pushed out. And then you can be like, okay, I think this is safe for a little bit. And then
I think that's kind of what I'm counting on. I miss being on stage in front of people and all that kind of stuff, but I cannot think of many people that I will risk my life for to do a show that ain't right here in my house.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have a hard time with that adjustment.
It's crazy. People have been Jones. They're like week 2 of this. People are like, hey, I'm holding a secret open mic in my basement. Don't tell anyone. You got to do the knock. It's da 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 da, and then you got.
Tell me about these secret things. This is really happening. That people are.
Comedians are, they make people laugh. We all know this, but there's a profound sadness to us sometimes, and sometimes that manifests in like, for whatever reason, being like, my calling is to do an open mic for 6 of my peers, even though none of us have health insurance, in the basement of like a closed comedy club or something. I don't think there's a lot of it going on, but I've heard enough of things where it makes me be like, you know what, maybe we don't deserve this. Maybe comedians all just stay inside an extra 6 months, and then we'll figure out what it's like to be real people. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. That is wild to me. I thought I read where someone had said something like, hey, I'll quit doing these secret shows. And I'm like, who's doing secret?
Some clubs are like not so secret about it. Like, whatever. Stand Up New York has a thing in the New York Times about how they were doing shows, and I'm like, people read this one. This is one that people read. I don't know.
That's a paper people like.
That's not my club, so do what you got to do. But like, just know that people will see this, and it could come back to hurt you. But
oh wow. Well, I mean, I guess we're doing the Lord's work. I kind of don't think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I agree with you.
But yeah, that is wild. And when I hear about things like that, I'm just like, I can't believe y'all are doing it. But I also would like to know details because I love gossip. And it's a failing of mine that I didn't put myself out there more to get to know terrible people so that I could hear about how they're living their lives and then judge them. And instead, I cut them off once I realized they were terrible people. And I was like, oh, I don't need you in my life. But I do in a way.
See, but that maturity of being able to cut people off means you're probably happier than, most of us. And people respect you. So that's a good that's a good 1-2 punch to have. I love those two. I love that about you. You're great.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I do still want to talk shit.
That's
so now I got to talk shit about, I don't know, something else, I guess, a higher class, another grade of, I don't know, writers, I guess I just got to talk.
You can. What about birds? You got window. You can talk shit about the birds. Like I feel like you can just take that energy and be like, oh, look at this chubby little robin. Oh, you think it's gonna fly?
My cat and I do look out of the window, and we do have something of a discussion about birds. She will make like a weird chattery noise.
Sure.
And then I'm like, that bird don't want you. And so really, maybe I'm just kind of turning my ire onto the cat.
You do, yeah. That's the same energy. I love
it. That is. It's a surplus of haterade, and there are no open danceries, basically.
Sure. The way
I have a lot of hateration, and I got no place to drop it off.
So like the way New York has a surplus of fireworks and people are like shooting them off.
Yeah.
And or whatever theory about that, you have a surplus of hate, and you're just like, look, this is wholesale. Take it or leave it. Do you want this? Someone's got to use this.
Yeah. So instead, I'm just like yelling at people outside who walk by with no mask to wear a mask, but the window's shut, and I'm like at ground level. So I also don't, because they could easily just kind of get to me. So
if they see you, they can't even hear you, but you're like, hey, and they're like, oh, is she falling? Is everything okay?
Yeah. And also, you just don't want to. I think it's a kind of a rule, a New York rule. If you see someone going crazy in like a garden or basement level apartment, you just let them be.
Yeah, they know
there are issues. There's a reason why they're not above sea level.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for talking to me. This is great. I love it.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Everybody knows where I stand on all the important issues now, and that's why I came here. So we're good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Yeah, take care. See you at the secret.
All right.
That was Ben Katzner, everyone. This has been great, right? Hasn't this been great? Or is that just me? Again, there was something in my ginger ale. It could have been whiskey. Anyway, so I am going to bring up your final comedian for the evening, and we're very excited that she's here. You may know her, or you may not. I mean, I don't know you. I don't know who you pay attention to, but you should pay attention to this young woman. I am going nuts in my box. Let me out. Oh, what if I could? Anywho, I'm just going to bring her please welcome to the Zoom stage, the extremely funny Aparna Nancherla, everyone.
Thank you. Oh,
hello.
Here I am. Hi. Okay, I am. Thank you for calling me a young woman, first of all.
No problem.
So kind, especially after quarantine. Truly a lie. But I'm going to share my screen really quick. I'm going to do a PowerPoint for you guys. I know, Shalewa, you have also worked in a lot of offices.
Yes.
I have as well. So I just wanted to honor my heritage, my capitalist heritage, by just doing a little PowerPoint. So this is just a little something I jammed on for you guys. Is that what office people say, jammed on? But
some offices, the fun ones.
Some offices, yeah. Mm-hmm. But this is just called What I Learned from Quar So Far. And this is actually what I learned from Quar so far, how to do that. And I'm also trying to own my accomplishments more, which is why I put my name on it. Mm-hmm. There is my last name, just trying to socially distance there a little bit. And I also learned how to do this.
Ooh.
and this. So really just so much growth happening for me these days. I've learned so many things over the past, how many days is it? I think it's day 104 for me now. I've left here and there. I've done a protest, I've done a grocery run, but really I've mostly stayed put. And yeah, I've learned so many things. I've learned how to wash a bowl 700 times in the same day. Usually the last time I just give it a good lick and throw it out the window. I've noticed that my butt has grown taller, not wider, taller. It's that hot quarantine bod everyone is coveting, where your torso shrinks and your butt just lengthens. And I'm also just way more comfortable on video chat, I've found, which is clearly why I'm doing a PowerPoint, just so comfortable having people look at my face. Like now, I used to never pick up FaceTime calls. Now I almost never pick up FaceTime calls. So that is definitely progress. I still don't understand people who FaceTime you out of the blue, though. That feels frankly illegal. It feels like saying, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm a monster and I don't believe in the social contract. So now you know. So just a quick debriefing right off the top. Oh, thank you so much. I really needed someone to affirm that one. I also used a statue of a butt because I didn't know if nudity was allowed, and I figured art is okay. But yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know my quarantine situation because I'm self-employed as a comedian. I don't have any kids. I live with my long-term boyfriend of like 4 years. I finally learned his name, which is huge. But not everyone has this cushy situation. So I just wanted to own that up top. I just wanted to check my privilege, which I realize is very cool these days. Everybody's checking their privilege. I just wanted to take a page out of all these brands books. And yes, I am talking about Gushers when I say brands. Did anyone else see this Black Lives Matter tweet from Gushers?
I loved it so much.
I love it so much. And mainly, I think what it told me was that I didn't even know Gushers was still in the snack game. And this was just a fun little way for them to co-opt a very important moment and say, hey, we're still around and we're still gushing.
What I loved is not only are they really built on the backs of the Black community, but that they're working with Fruit by the Foot.
Oh, yes. That was my favorite part. I'm like, we cannot wait for this hot collab to drop. Also didn't know Fruit by the Foot was still around. I think it's 1992 now, which is entirely possible because I do believe Time has officially been canceled, as well as many people and brands. And I did myself a favor since Time is canceled. We don't know if it's today, last week, yesterday. We don't know what it is. So I just took all the numbers off all the clocks in my apartment. And now I just sort of play it by ear. And I just want to run through like a typical day for me. I might start with just a quick eye opening. And that's usually when I acknowledge that reality is still a thing and I got to do it again. And then I just go ahead and put on a full face of makeup. I heard you and Alison talking about makeup. Usually I don't see anyone else during the day except my boyfriend. And he knows that I'm a corn husk doll under this, but he, it's still nice to just top off that existential dread, which is like a smoky eye or a bold lip. Or, you could just do a full insane clown posse face, whatever you're feeling that day. You shouldn't limit yourself. I usually follow that up with a snack that can be anything from a handful of cashews to just like a tub of pizza. It really just depends on the day, the moment. After that, I usually start something and you're like, oh, like an email or a project. No, usually a fight with my boyfriend. I don't usually, not getting along as well as Ben and his lady. Some of our classic fights have been, were you even listening to what I just said? That's usually him to me, to be fair. Another one is, can I read your text? You got more than me today. That's usually me to him. And then, does this banana look okay to eat? That's another classic. But after that, I usually look out the window. I also have a window, which I treasure. I want to say that I look out the window with hope, but usually I feel like I just end up channeling the energy of like an old white businessman who's trying to like decide whether to tell his partner that he's been embezzling massive amounts of money or just jumping. So that's usually the vibe I transmit. After that, I do my art. You would think that's comedy, but these days it's usually just some light screaming into the toilet because that's usually the only place where the neighbors won't complain about the noise. And then after that, another snack, usually some old cardboard on it, or just like a pudding cup of vodka. And then after that, usually the rest of the day is just go online, either answer an email or watch a TikTok, read a headline. But usually that can take anywhere from 3 hours to 4 weeks, it seems like, when I go on the internet. And then what do you know? It's time for a snack again. And it's usually that banana I was talking about earlier. Speaking of which, does this banana look okay to eat? Would you say?
Fine.
Should be fine, right? Fine. I would think so too, except turns out I'm wrong. It's rotting. That's right. My boyfriend considers this a rotting banana. And now you know why we fight. Oh no. I know. What? This is nothing. That's just, that banana has barely hit puberty.
It's not even lived.
Not even lived. Apparently we have different views. Luckily, mostly only on things like bananas. But yeah, I am an introvert, but I have realized that I've started to miss people during quarantine. I think it just helps break up the normal anxiety and depression. It's like gives you something new to focus on. So I came up with this trick. I call it the Black Swan. And what it is you just walk by a mirror in your apartment really fast. And if you do it fast enough, it's almost like you saw another person. And it helps if you like look back over your shoulder and go, hello? That kind of sells it sometimes. Usually it doesn't leave you feeling connected as much as just like deeply unsettled, but at least it's for a different reason than usual.
Right.
And then I have been spending a lot of time online, as I said. The news, social media, it's all kind of garbage right now. I mean, there's hopeful moments, but it can be a train wreck. So I've been trying to find safe spaces to still exist online. And one ancient burial ground on the web that I feel like is still really so good is just the free stuff section in Craigslist. I don't know if you've been recently, but it's really just dishing out some gems. Here are a few that I found over quarantine. This one, live garden snails, park slope. Our backyard has tons of garden snails and my wife can't stand them in the garden and doesn't have the heart to squish them all. Now, what I love this person is just giving away their parts of their yard. They're just giving away nature. They actually make great pets for kids, low maintenance and fun to watch. Here, they're just clearly exploiting parents who have run out of everything to do with their children and really will go for anything at this point. And they're just like, I know what'll help you. My wet shell worms. Come get them. This is another one I appreciated. Flo Rida autographed photo. Have a friend who is a big Flo Rida fan? Someone humor me and please come take this authentic Flo Rida autograph photo. Now, what I appreciate about this is this person isn't a big enough fan of Flo Rida to keep this autograph photo, but is not a small enough fan to just throw it away. Instead, they would like to give it away for free to a stranger on the internet. That leads me to conclude this is either a relative of Flo Rida's who posted this or like an old coworker. And then these are a few I really just appreciated the poetry of. Bride and groom snow globe. I think nobody is that puzzled that someone is giving away two people stuck in a bubble in an intimate relationship. That does feel a little on the nose for quarantine. The part that really got me is the SI. This is available in Staten Island. You got to go to Staten Island to get this. I don't think anyone's doing that. This one is a bunch of naked Barbies, and the text just says, I don't have clothes for Barbie. My girls lost them. Now, I think the classic interpretation would be that this woman's daughters lost their Barbie's clothes and she doesn't know what to do with them anymore. An alternate reading, which I prefer, is that I don't have clothes for Barbie. My girls lost them. My girls is just another way she's referring to the Barbies. There's no children involved at all. And that's more what I want to go with here.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought
of the post. I just feel like nothing screams 2020 like come pick up my new dolls. And then lastly, love this one from top to bottom. Lamb chop dog toy, just the way it's held so elegantly. This one just reads really like a beautiful poem or like a monologue. It's just every emotion here. I'm not sure this has ever been used by a dog, TBH. I don't even have a dog. I have a cat, but he's not interested in this at all. I just thought it was cute and soft. But now I realize it's silly to have a dog toy just for the look of it. Pick up ASAP. Just like truly, this person is unwinding in real time, and I love it.
Such a journey.
It's such a journey. And that brings me to my last thing, self-care. I feel like it's so easy to lose track of self-care during quarantine. You're at home, you figure it's being taken care of, but it's really not. And, you know, there's the pandemic, there's a racial justice reckoning. There's a lot to think about and to leave yourself behind. So I made up a little song to help me remember self-care for myself, just to get me in that headspace. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. It's by my one true father. It goes to the tune of my one true father, Papa Roach's song, Last Resort. So bear with me. I'm just gonna, let's see, how does it go? Okay. Cute my life into puppies. This is my self-care time. Relaxation, no hating. Don't give a fuck if I cramp my arm masturbating. So feel free to use that. And that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, Aparna, that was
thank
fantastic.
you.
It's so
I forget how to unshare my screen. So that's fun for me.
There it is.
There we go.
Thanks so much, Aparna.
Thank you.
Oh man. So that was Aparna, everyone. That was the show. That was Whiplash this week. And I dare say we had a good time. I do. I'll say it. We did. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all of the comedians who joined us this evening. That was Raanan, that was Paul, that was Alison, that was Ben, that was Aparna. Thanks to Littlefield for throwing us up on this here internet. Thanks to Brightsiders helping us take donations for the Bail Project. Definitely look at that in our chat information, or just look up Bailsiders on like Instagram, or go to Littlefield and you'll see more information on it. And then open your purse. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week, right? Yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday. Have a good one.